Great win, hard-fought win for the Mustangs today, and I'm just proud that they continue to fight because the UCF team they wouldn't go away. I thought when we were up 12, 14 points, we had a chance to finish it. Maybe I made a mistake and tried to give my players who had given us that lead a short breather. When I did, I don't think the bench came off ready to play with a sense of urgency, and they were able to get back into the game and make it a really good fight.
Before you got to that big lead, slow start for your team today. UCF got out to an 11-2 lead. What led to the struggles at the beginning?
I wish I could tell you. I'm gonna have to let you ask that question to these young ladies as well. I was a little bit stunned by it. I was trying to fire them up. Then I made a huge substitution just to try to get them going, and we're just gonna have to start the game a lot better. The thing was, it looked like UCF came to win the game, and we looked like we just came to show up in the first quarter. So thank God for that second quarter.
All right, you were on the floor at the beginning. How would you explain the slow start?
I agree with Coach. I just don't think there was a lot of energy on our part. We weren't moving the ball very well. They pressured. We haven't seen a lot of pressure like that very often this year, and I think that we were just kind of like on our heels a little bit instead of attacking it. And I think that's where our success came from, when we started attacking the press and moving the ball more.
When you were behind early, UCF picked up a few early fouls. Was that a directive from you on the bench? If the shots aren't falling, let's at least try to get them into some foul trouble?
Well, my game plan, we knew that they were going to press. We just haven't been comfortable, as McKenzie just said all year long, as mastering attacking it. But we did get a couple opportunities where we were attacking the pressure, and they got a couple players with 2 early fouls. And that's what I kept preaching on the bench, but we got passive and we started turning the ball over, and it gave them more and more confidence. If we didn't get a foul, we wasn't really looking to shoot.
You put in Amaura Brandt earlier than you have in some other games this year, and she pays off big with the 3-pointers. What led you to make that sub that early?
Well, I had exhausted the bench, number one, but I did have a lot of confidence that Amaura would go in there and do exactly what she did. One thing about Amaura, she's extremely coachable. I tell her, go in there, you catch to shoot, and she went in there catching to shoot. And I love it when you can go to a player on the bench and they go in and do what you expect them to do rather than something else. Every time I go down the bench, Amaura's looking at me like, Coach, I know you're about ready to call my number. I know you're ready, you know. And then she's probably mad at me because some days I'm trying to get some other players motivated, especially the ones that I'm going to have returning, because I will be losing Am next year. And I'm just glad she was ready when her number was called.
All right, Amaura, it's hard enough to hit threes, but can you describe how hard it is to come in off the bench when you've been sitting for a little bit and come in and start draining threes?
Well, I mean, I guess since I got in the second quarter, it didn't really seem that long. So I was ready, and, I've been waiting. Coach has told me, stick with the process. I go and talk to him. He just says, stick with the process. And so, I got to trust him because he's the coach. So I was just waiting for an opportunity, and I'm just glad that McKenzie started attacking better, and she hit 2 or 3 shots, and then that pulled the defense in, and then she started hitting me, and whoever else passed me the ball, I just caught to shoot. And so.
How much did hitting the first one help your confidence to pull the trigger on the second and the third?
I'm gonna shoot the ball regardless of my first shot being a miss or make, but Cammie told me before the game, I want you to make the first one. I said, I got you.
She got all the right answers, huh? I love it, Am.
All right, she comes in, hits all these threes, but your defense also changed. You gave up 3 points in the second period, no field goals. What got into the defense in the second quarter?
Well, what we did, we changed the defense. We went away from our man defense, which I thought was our bread and butter, the thing that would energize us when we were a little bit sluggish. And on offense, we wasn't being aggressive, so I thought the defense could give us an opportunity to get some steals, or we can convert our offense off of some good defensive plays. Didn't happen. So we ended up changing their tempo by going to the 1-2-2. We went to the zone. I think we made them think a little bit. They became a little bit more passive than they had been, less aggressive, and it changed the mentality of our team. So that's when we had to turn around. So I'm just glad one of the assistant coaches suggested it.
You've talked after several games this year about the adjustments you have to make at halftime. When you outscore an opponent 22-3 in the second period, do you say anything at halftime? What did you talk about in that locker room?
There's no doubt I said some things in the locker room, but it wasn't as aggressive as my last game halftime speech. It was more or less along the lines that we identified two of their players who was taking all the shots. And in the first half, they were getting away from us. And it was giving their team confidence. So when we identified them, we were able to focus on them. And they were a team that we're not looking for their 4 or 5 players at that particular time. And that's how we were able to increase the lead in the third quarter.
Aaliyah Gregory came in as their leading scorer. You knew she could score. She puts up 28 tonight. What is it about her that presents such a headache on the defensive end for you guys?
I mean, she's a great player. She's always looking to be aggressive, and she's going to get her points. That's just how it is. But I think that we had to focus on taking away other options and just do the best we can on her, and also limit second chance shots.
Like Coach said, it was sort of a roller coaster up and down, and toward the end, the margin's getting closer. What's being said on the bench during timeouts or even out on the floor when the players got together to huddle as you tried to run out the clock and pick up this win?
Right. I don't think there was any question that we ever thought that we were going to lose that game. You know, I think it was very much in our control. So we were just saying, you know, let's get one stop at a time. We have to limit the second chance shots, like I said, and take good shots. So
I wish at some point they thought they were going to lose the game. I really do.